Okay, here we're going to do a review of the ceramic whetstones by Spyderco, as well as show you how to sharpen an S30V, a CPM S30V steel, which everyone complains is too difficult to sharpen. Now I have the medium grit and fine grit 8-inch editions, as well as the Spyderco double stuffed, which is the same thing in a smaller hand size pocket carry size, and the ceramic files, which are these wonderful shapes. The ceramic files are more used for serrated, which I will not be demonstrating in this video, but I will tell you that if you have a serrated knife and are in need of sharpening it, these are a great set to have. So first off, I'm going to start by saying these are great sharpening stones, and I definitely love them. I would consider myself a good sharpener and have quite a few sharpening instruments, including Japanese style whetstones and DMT honing stones, the professional grade ones that cost you about $100 a piece. And out of all of them, I like these the best because they provide that great edge of a Japanese stone with that hard, flat surface of the diamond plates. Now, I'm going to show you with the classic paper test how sharp this knife is right now. Right now, it's pretty sharp. Now I'm going to do something that I hate to do, and many will consider sacrilegious, but I do it in the confidence that I can get this back sharp again. Now I'm going to have to mess with the camera, so give me a minute. Here we go. This is a granite countertop. I'm going to take this sharp knife and push down against it. Now I hate to do that, but let me put the camera back. I do that for this demonstration. Now I'm going to do the paper test again and show you this is not the same knife. This is dull. It doesn't want to cut as you would imagine. It really doesn't want to cut at all. So now we're going to take it down to fine edge using these wonderful tools. Now normally I do this, I take the stone out, put it on my knee, and just kind of work with it. But right now, for the purposes of this demonstration, I will be using it on the table. Now what you want to do is you want to get in there with a pretty shallow angle, because this knife has a shallow angle to it, and you want to just get back in there and put on what I just took off. And as you may be able to hear, I'm not sure with the sound quality, this stone is taking off a lot of material at a time, and that is a good thing because this is the medium grit and it is really used for very dull knives, as you see this one is right now. Now CPM S30V is considered to be very hard and very hard to sharpen with great blade retention. Now I've found that largely true, but if you have the right materials and the right knowledge, then it's really not that difficult, and it's actually one of my favorite steels because of its blade retention. Now, so the correct equipment are these Spyderco whetstones. The correct method is something you can watch but does require practice, and that is to gently slide at a consistent angle back and forth while pivoting the knife so that as you slide it touches the stone at every angle. You won't hit every spot at the same time, but you slide it so that it touches every one, or every part of the blade. So you slide back and forth. I do, once in each direction. Some people do twice. Don't slide backwards like this. You need to slide into it, because sliding backwards will give you a huge burr. And you may be able to make it so that that burr is quite sharp, and you'll find videos that show people going backwards like that and getting burrs that they can shave hair with. But I've got to tell you, the second you use that knife on something real like a piece of wood, that burr is going to fold over and you're going to go back to having a very dull knife. So going forward will get you a sharp edge that will stay sharp longer. Now, so after you've done it for a minute, I like to feel the edge and see or feel if there are any bumps, any spots that are still dull. Now, this feels pretty good to me, and I'm going to go ahead and do the paper test and see what progress, if any, we've made. Okay, you can see we've made some progress so far, though I wouldn't say we've made much. So now I'm going to take it to the fine and hopefully get that point. Now, I've actually done this before off camera, so I know it will work. It's just a matter of I am not used to doing this on the tabletop, so I can't tell you for sure that we will get a great edge this time. If not, I'm going to turn off the camera, sharpen it how I sharpen it, and segment back in a little section of me doing paper cut tests with the sharp knife. Now you can see that this stone, which started out white, is turning gray where the knife blade has run across it. That is because the steel is being left behind and discoloring the stone. Now, you can build up a lot of steel and your stone works less efficient. In order to remedy that, you take a non-metallic scouring pad like you would use on pots in the kitchen and some soap and just scrub it off. Just soap and water without the scouring pad will do some, but it won't fix it completely or clean it completely. So let's see. I'm still not sure this is perfect, but let's see how this cuts now. Feels decent. Yes, definitely cuts much better. Still not perfect, like I said, but I have no doubt I can get here. Let's get a new piece of paper. I have no doubt I can get it there. So there you go. Well, still not perfect, but really I'm just breezing through this to show you on the video. Now, most people's complaints with the CPM S30V is that it's very difficult to sharpen and almost impossible in the field. Now, I've just shown you that from about as dull as it can be, you can get it to where it's fairly sharp. For me, with some experience, it is no problem to get it to that point and to get it to pop hairs off your arm. Now in the field, you use the Spyderco double stuffed, which is the same thing, just in a much smaller version. Just very, very simple to use. Comes in this nice leather pouch. It's open, but it goes in easy, doesn't really fall out unless you shake it out. Great knife, great steel, and great set of sharpening tools. I would definitely suggest it to anyone. These stones to anyone, especially someone who's having a difficult time sharpening a super steel or hard steel blade. I would say don't run your knife across the countertop, but if you do, make sure you have these Spyderco stones right here. That's about it for this video, and check back in later. Okay guys, it's been about 2 minutes since that last paper cut test I showed you, and I took these out of their little boxes, brought them over to the couch, and sat down where I usually sharpen my knives. Now the reason I sit down at the couch, well, there are two reasons. One, I'm lazy and I like TV, and two is it puts my leg at a right angle like that. So what I do is I put this down on my thigh. Now, don't cut yourself, but I've never had that issue. So your thigh is about this shape on the top, that curved shape. That enables you to get in there. Can't balance this and show you. That enables you, pretend the stone is right here, to get in there with your hand and have clearance. Now on the countertop, where it's flat, you're bumping up against the countertop, you have an issue. So that enables you to get in there and do those real fine finesse cuts where you're not bumping up against any, or finesse sharpening strokes where you're not bumping up against anything. So I'm going to do the paper test again, then I'm also going to see if it'll take some hair off my arm. Yeah, there you go. Well, this paper's not cooperating, but you can see it's pretty sharp. Now, let's see if this thing will focus. There you go. Nice shaving sharp. There you go. Spyderco Paramilitary 2 CPM S30V steel, dulled sacrilegiously and then sharpened beautifully by these two Spyderco stones. Would I suggest these even at the price tag? I definitely would. Great product, another by Spyderco. Great knife, and great way to sharpen. So that's about it for this one. I hope you learned something and hope to see you out there in the field.